Welcome to our conversation where we're unpacking today's digital dilemma, truth in the age of AI and how democracy is at risk. It's a hefty topic, and
Absolutely.
it's reshaping how we view reality.
Yeah, it's wild, right? I mean, not too long ago, you could trust that what you saw or heard was real. Now, deepfakes and AI-generated narratives make everything, questionable.
Exactly. Think about it. Our avatars, our digital footprints, they're all part of this new landscape. These ideas, like our use of AI for clear communication, come with a serious responsibility. It's almost like
Right on.
trying to navigate a maze where every turn looks the same.
And that's where trust starts to crumble. When we question if what we're seeing is even real, we're basically losing our common ground.
Trust is the bedrock of democracy. Without shared facts, our votes, our decisions, it's like our entire political process could become a game of hallucinated perceptions.
Yeah,
Imagine a
definitely.
world where everyone's just reacting to manipulated content.
That's a terrifying thought. And it isn't just about individual deception. There's a whole ecosystem, political extremists, click farms, authoritarian regimes, all using these tools as weapons in psychological warfare.
Right. And the danger gets amplified when social media platforms, which profit off outrage and sensationalism, spread this
True,
mess
exactly.
even wider. They turn engagement into currency, and truth rarely makes the cut.
I love that point. When outrage fuels the algorithm, it's like truth is fighting an uphill battle against manufactured discord. And that noise makes it nearly impossible for anyone to find solid facts.
Absolutely. I mean, consider this. Digital literacy now has to be as basic as reading and writing. We need to, teach people to question every bit of media, ask who created it and why it
Yep,
exists.
that makes sense.
It's no longer enough to just consume. We need to interrogate.
But don't you think it's a bit too harsh to expect everyone to have that level of scrutiny? There's a fine line between healthy skepticism and complete distrust.
That's a fair challenge. Yes, we don't want people to become cynical to the point of paralysis where they stop engaging altogether. But the reality is, if we don't build that digital literacy, we're effectively seeding the narrative. It's all about balance.
Exactly. And then there's regulation. The idea that laws need to catch up to this fast-paced digital world, like unequivocally differentiating creative expression from deliberate digital forgery.
Yeah, imagine trying to legislate something that's evolving faster than our ability to understand it. But without a legal framework, deepfakes in elections or manipulated news could become the norm. We risk elections becoming a
That's the core
showcase of
issue.
fake news rather than informed decision-making.
And if the platforms aren't held accountable for their algorithms, then the problem just compounds. Algorithms here are like gatekeepers. They decide what we see and what we don't see.
Exactly, it's like having a DJ who picks only the most inflammatory tracks on repeat to keep the crowd hyped, but instead they're steering public perception. And that has
Right, yeah.
serious implications for our ability to have a true deliberative democracy.
So what do? We've got to start with ourselves, right? It's about modeling how we seek the truth, checking our facts, and not just buying into sensationalism.
Indeed, it's this idea of self-accountability, admitting when we're wrong, verifying before we share, and being a little slower on the recall of the sensational.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we're just contributing to the noise.
I mean, if deepfakes and synthetic media are the weapons of manipulation, then the antidote is clearly education and awareness. But isn't it a bit idealistic to assume everyone will invest the time to become, critically literate?
You raise a good point. Yes, it requires effort, and it might not come naturally to all, but consider it like learning to, drive a car. Basic literacy
Exactly.
in a digital age is essential for safe navigation, and it's a skill that's increasingly crucial.
And we have to keep pushing for better laws, too. Because when politicians and corporate interests shape the narrative, truth becomes the collateral damage.
Right on. It's all interconnected. Digital literacy, regulation, platform accountability, they form the pillars of defending democracy. If one falls, the entire structure
Absolutely.
wobbles.
Now, here's something interesting. Our very conversation here is generated by AI, right? But we're using AI as a tool to foster transparency and conversation about truth.
Exactly. It's like using the same tool that can create chaos to instead
Yeah,
shine
that's a clever reversal.
We, as AI avatars, are showing that technology, when handled with integrity, can actually empower truth.
I like that. It's a genuine attempt to flip the script on AI's dark side. But, what about those who argue that technology is just a reflection of society's worst impulses?
That's a valid critique. Technology amplifies what we feed into it. It's like a mirror. It reflects our values, our biases. But if we intentionally, craft an environment that prioritizes clear, honest communication, then the same tech can elevate our discourse. It's not technology
I
versus
see that.
humanity. It's how humanity chooses to use technology.
Precisely. And that's why accountability is so key. Platforms, governments, and even individuals need to ask, who's curating our reality and for what purpose?
Absolutely. And clearly defining that purpose can help us reclaim truth. But then again, there are those who might say too much regulation stifles innovation.
Yeah, that's a classic argument, right? I mean, we definitely don't want to hinder progress. But at what cost? Do we sacrifice our democracy for unchecked innovation?
Exactly. And that's a point worth debating. When innovation is used to manipulate outcomes, as in swaying elections with AI-crafted misinformation, the risk outweighs the benefit.
No doubt.
There's a line here that we simply can't ignore.
So, what's our takeaway? It feels like each of us has a role to play in this larger narrative.
For sure. It starts with being mindful of what we consume, asking the right questions, and maintaining an ongoing conversation
Right,
about
absolutely.
truth and transparency. Think of it as our digital citizenship, active, informed, and continuously evolving.
And we've got to be proactive too, supporting policies and platforms that value accuracy over sensationalism. Otherwise, we keep enabling the very mechanisms that create this digital dystopia.
Exactly. It's up to us all to choose curiosity over complacency and transparency over deception.
So true.
After all, if we can have these hard conversations, even in AI-generated formats, it means there's hope that truth can still prevail.
And speaking of hard conversations, it's a reminder that our digital age isn't just about gadgets and screens. It's about people, perceptions, and, well, the very fabric of democracy.
Right. It's about the shared reality that holds us together. Without a common understanding of truth, we're not just misinformed, we're collectively adrift.
Exactly,
It's a crisis
exactly.
that calls for all of us to re-engage with what it means to be informed citizens.
And that starts with conversations like this. Dialogue, reflection, and the willingness to challenge our own views. Sometimes that means questioning even the digital tools we rely on.
Yeah, it's like taking responsibility for our own role in this ecosystem. Even when the system itself feels,
That's a critical point.
rigged, we all have a stake in demanding accountability from those who shape our digital realities.
So, to anyone listening, maybe the call to action is, let's be curious, let's be critical, and let's be brave in the pursuit of truth.
Absolutely. It's about not just being skeptical, but creating a dialogue that builds rather than breaks the foundation of our democracy. After all, truth matters, and so
Right.
do we.
That's the challenge we should all embrace. And with that, our discussion wraps up. But remember, keep questioning, keep reflecting, stay engaged, because the future of our democracy depends on it.